What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Rev Match and RC here. Today we got the Rlaarlo XTS-S10, and I wanted to talk about some positives and very small negatives. Nothing crazy. I did run about 10 packs through this, and I did want to give my input on it. This thing started out as a roller, so I'm not going to talk about Rlaarlo's electronics because I don't have those. I'll just talk about basically the driving and durability, I guess you can say. So that way we're all on the same page. My intention with this car is to just keep it mainly on road, mainly a 2S car. Didn't want to make it crazy fast, but a good driver's car, and I guess a good, small to medium parking lot ripper, I guess you could say. I have faster cars to do other things. This one would be great for almost everything. And I love it, man. And the first pro is, man, the car looks amazing. The body looks amazing. Everything just looks amazing on this car. I don't mind the branding. I know people were crying about the branding. Oh, it doesn't say Subaru on it. We know what it is. It's a Subaru WRX. All right, so the XTS-S10, I don't mind the branding. I'm not really big into the stickers and all that stuff. I prefer a clean, plush look, I guess you can say. But if you want the accurate Subaru stuff, I think you can actually get. I think some of the guys on Facebook actually was able to get the. I think it's from Killer Body. Killer Body offers a sticker sheet or sticker decal sheet, put the actual Subaru stickers on it, and it looks good. I'm not gonna lie, it really does look good. But it's just, for me, not my cup of tea. I kind of like the plain, clean look, little stickers here and there, nothing crazy. So Big Pro body looks amazing. Okay, so I will show you now my personal setup. So forgive me, my lighting is not great, so I'm going to use like a little small flashlight. So to start, when I started with this car, I introduced it to it with a 6500 kV motor. This no longer is a 6500 kV motor, and I'll talk about that in a minute. We'll start with the servo though. Steering servo. Again, this is roller, so it doesn't come with anything, but this is a full size, but a shorty or a condensed size steering servo. And this is an SBT. I think it's a 12 kilogram. It's like an Amazon eBay special, man. But these things are awesome. These things are awesome. These things are really good. And I don't have any clearance issues. Now, you can see down in there that I did have clearance issues because I did try this thing with a bigger servo. And that's probably the first con. Maybe you might have to make a little bit of adjustment down there, if you're not running the actual Rlaarlo servo on the arm and all that stuff. So I like this servo. I'm sticking with it. ESC, again, the intent on this car is just 2S, nothing crazy. This is a Spectrum 85 amp ESC, 2 to 3S ESC, so pretty simple. And the way, excuse me, the way I have it mounted, I hope you guys can see that. There's some notches on the center brace, and I just have one zip tie running around that notch, and it just kind of keeps it there. Which kind of will lead me into one con. If you were to put this on top of here, then you have no choice but to, which just looks amazing, but man, you would have no choice but to have to cut this up, and that's no fun. Although some people, I've seen some people do it, and I'm sure it probably doesn't look too bad, but I don't know what we would do for heat and all that stuff. I mean, but the same thing here. Again, I'm not running nothing crazy. I'm not trying to run 100 mile an hour, this, that, whatever. So, the receiver, because I'm running a Radiolink RC4. It just is a non gyro receiver, and I think that's a positive. And what I'm going to say is a positive is that or pro rather, is that, man, this car, because of its layout and the way it is, and the suspension tuning, everything like that, it handles, and the center diff, by the way, handles amazing. I personally don't think it needs a gyro. Now, I understand why people would want the gyro, and maybe when they go off-road, it probably helps them out, or guys who are probably newer to RC, they need easier control. But this thing, to me, and for me personally, I think it drives better without a gyro. I've tried both, and I never really have as much fun with the gyro as I do without the gyro. So, just my personal preference, I think it's a better car without the gyro. All right, now we're going to get back to the motor. This was a 6500 kV motor. Changed it out for a 3000 kV. These are both 3652 size. The only difference is that I geared this up to a 31 tooth pinion. I went to a hardened steel pinion. Okay. And the reason being is that the 6500 kV motor is amazing. Problem is though, man, I was destroying batteries. And what I mean is my runtime was horrible. It was like 10 minutes maybe, and only like 5200 milliamp hour battery. So I think just that high kV pulling that much power from the smaller ESC is probably not a great match. The 3800 kV motor probably is better. So stay tuned. I'm going to have running video to try to get another speed run with this setup. My hope is to get close to 40 mile per hour, or at least 40 mile per hour with this setup, and I'll be completely happy with it on a 2S setup. Okay. The fastest this car has gone is 47 on the 2S setup with the 6500 kV motor. And that was on the smallest pinion that it comes with. But I found out that I think going with these better pinion gears, it sounds a lot better. You know, I know in some of the videos I've mentioned, oh man, it sounds like my mesh is off. I think it's just those cheaper pinion gears that Rlaarlo gives you. So anyhow, the battery system, it's not horrible. Could it be better? Yeah. The strapping system could be better. Yeah. But I mean, we're talking about, I'm being picky here, man. It's not horrible. Again, my intent with this car is not to, you know, do 100 plus mile per hour. I have an AK 917 for that. So, which, stay tuned, by the way, as it gets warmer, my intent is to get that car to 100 plus mile per hour. I know it's been done. My personal best is 89, so if you want to follow me on that journey, stay tuned, and hopefully as it warms up, I'll be able to do that. Anyway, back to this. Man, this car is amazing, man. I really like it. I think the other, I said the last two cons, one, if you're going to get a roller, I really wish that it came with the full-size servo mount. Man, it really needs to come with a full-size servo mount, you know, and I know these rollers are about $199, man. Make it $210 and throw this in here, and I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy with that, really. You know what I'm saying? And I think the last con that I'm going to end with is the body mounting system. This is no problem for me, you know, the clips on the side and, of course, on the front. But, man, where I have the problem at is sliding. So if I could grab the car real quick. Sliding that little thing in there, man, and you can see how it's kind of bending down somewhat or whatever, but it's this small little slot that's here on the back, and is it horrible? No, honestly, it's a little bit more annoying than anything else, but when we're talking about very minuscule things, I personally think that the F10's hinge system is probably a better system, but I've never had an F10, so I don't know, you know, if that's an advantage or not. But we're talking about very small cons, guys. I think for the most part, man, you know, this is an incredible RC car, man. It's an incredible RC car. So I'm gonna leave it at that, man. I think this car handles great. It looks amazing. The wheels and tire setup are actually not horrible. I mean, I actually like the fact that it's not that grippy. Do a little bit more sliding without a gyro. For me personally, I'd prefer it without the gyro because it has a great chassis, great suspension, and a center diff. So, but guys, if you guys like this, man, please like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned because we're going to try to do a speed test with the lower kV motor geared up. So stay tuned for that. All right, guys. Thank you guys for your time. You guys have a good one.